There's not quiet on the set.
You just yell it out at them.
Okay, quiet on the set.
No,
Take
it
one.
needs to be louder, or they're not going to listen to you.
I know.
More authoritative.
Quiet on the set.
No,
Take one.
more authoritative.
Our fans are in the camera.
Quiet on the set.
Hi everyone, welcome to Weird for Beauty. Thank you for watching. This is Palm Springs episode 2, and today we're doing our first in a series of Skinterviews with my friends. Today we have Sen. Isn't he adorable? He is also our house chef quite often. He makes me omelets.
It's the only thing I can make.
Alright, let's get down to business. We're here to talk about skincare. Tell me about your skincare journey and what is your feelings about skincare from childhood till now?
Feelings about my skin.
Yeah.
I feel that it's important to use good skincare to keep yourself young.
You don't like talking about your feelings, do you?
No,
Did you, when you were younger, what was your skin like compared to what it's like now?
It's the same.
It's the same.
Yes.
Never like up and down or journey. Like
No.
for me, I had a lot of acne when I was a teenager, but got better. Like,
I feel like my acne problem has been the same regardless. Yeah.
so you have an acne problem. Tell us about
Correct.
what you consider that to be.
Breakouts here and there, pimples.
Where do you generally get them?
On my face. All over my nose.
What do you find to be the trigger of them?
Bad diet.
Oh, so you notice a
Fats and
difference
oils.
with the...
Yes, like if I eat a lot of chips and things like that, then I tend to break out more.
Yeah.
So
What
having a
about
good diet
dairy?
is important.
Does
Not
dairy-
dairy, not so much. No,
Yeah.
that doesn't affect me.
It's important for you to learn like what triggers it for you. So like try to eliminate things in your diet or whatever when it's happening.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
definitely notice by what you eat
Yeah.
and notice like trends and breakouts and stuff.
Yeah. When you get it, is it the really deep, painful ones that's the cystic acne?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's mostly those.
Yeah, and you told me before you've had antibiotics.
Yes.
Okay.
I've
So-
taken oral antibiotics. I use topical antibiotics for nothing seems to work.
And what do you do now?
Right now, I'm just using a topical Clindam.
Topical clindamycin.
Yes. Antibiotic.
So I am not a dermatologist. This is for entertainment uses only. And so go through your routine again slowly. So in the morning, what do you do?
I use like a facial scrub.
And what brand?
I don't know.
And what's in the scrub?
Some peach flavored scrub. Not flavored, but peach scented.
Peach scented scrub?
Yeah. I
Is it
forget.
apricot scrub?
Yes,
No.
something like that.
Oh my god.
Oh, St. Ives, is that what it is?
How many times a week do you use that?
Once a day.
Collectively, all the fans of Weird for Beauty are having a heart attack right now. Okay.
Okay.
That's literally the #1 most hated product in the
Oh my
skincare
gosh.
community. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
#1 most hated product.
Why?
Well, first of all, in the apricot scrub, you're using shells to exfoliate your skin, but what you're really doing is causing micro tears in your skin, destroying your skin barrier, just causing irritation and redness, and really exacerbating any acne problems that you might have. So your first thing that you have to do is
Get
stop
rid of
with that apricot scrub immediately. You're harming your skin for the long term with that.
Okay.
So that's out the
No,
window.
What about that fresh soy?
Fresh soy cleanser, sure, that's a great cleanser, gentle, really good. So for your exfoliation, so the reason why you're drawn to that apricot scrub is probably because you're craving some exfoliation, you want to make sure your pores aren't clogged and all of that stuff.
Yes.
So
It feels clean.
Right, it feels clean. So that feeling of cleanliness sometimes is actually your skin barrier being damaged and too far removed. So the soy cleanser is going to be good. It's not going to damage your skin barrier. But if you do want that exfoliation, then I would recommend a chemical exfoliant. So something like a glycolic acid or an AHA or BHA acid that you would put on in the morning and or at night. If you really suffer with acne, you can do it day and night.
Okay.
And then the other product that's like a #1 recommendation for you, that for people, anyone with acne, but really this is a great ingredient for everyone, I'll probably recommend it to everybody, is niacinamide. It's really affordable, it's in more and more ingredients lately, so you'll do a layer of niacinamide.
So
But
it's like a topical lotion?
Yeah,
or-
so niacinamide you get in like a serum. You can get it from The Ordinary for cheap or other brands for more expensive. But that's gonna help control oil production in your pores.
Okay.
Helps with anti-aging as well. So all the concerns, niacinamide is like the #1 star ingredient right now. Scrub. After the scrub, we move on to
A facial moisturizer in the morning with SPF.
great. And what do you know your brand on that, or the level of it SPF?
Oh, what do I use? Oh, I use Jack Daniels. It's a blue bottle.
Jack Daniels. I use that too. So probably Jack. It's not Jack Daniels.
Jack Black. Sorry.
Jack Black. All right. So you should be good there. The concern though is like when you have a moisturizer and you add sunscreen to it.
Yes.
It's typically going to be less powerful than just a sunscreen.
Okay.
So let's say you've moisturized your face with an SPF 15, you put a thin layer on, you're barely going to get much sun protection for the day.
Okay.
So sun protection is important to you, which
It
pretty
is.
much should be to everyone for anti-aging,
Yes,
sunspots,
for
all that.
sure.
You might want to add a higher SPF or an SPF on top of that.
Okay.
Especially if you're going to be out in the direct sun, especially add more SPF on.
Okay.
And you really want to look for 30 or above.
What about that Supergoop?
Supergoop's awesome. Yeah,
Okay.
and you've been using that
Yeah.
generally. We've been out
For
at
the
pool.
body, but not for the face.
Yeah.
Can you just use on the face too?
Yeah, I think the Supergoop that you have, you probably can use on the face, but of course they have a lot that you can use.
I think so, yeah.
Tons of great sunscreens out there these days. I'm a big fan of the Purito sunscreens, as people know. But you can buy all sorts of simple stuff. Have you ever found any irritation from skincare products?
No, never.
So you have pretty tough skin.
Yeah.
One sword to rule them all. I'm trying to think about what I use. At night, I use Bulldog Moisturizer. That's what I use.
Oh. Alright, so you use Bulldog Moisturizer at night.
Yeah. So
Is
in
that
the
a brand?
morning, yeah.
So we went through your morning routine already, and now at night, your routine is just applying. You're
A
washing your
moisturizer.
face. No, you're just rinsing with water right now.
Correct.
And then you're applying your Bulldog Moisturizer.
Moisturizer with no SPF.
Great.
Because it's nighttime.
So what we're gonna do is switcheroo your washing routine. In the morning, we're gonna use a great cleanser, and I'm gonna recommend a few that I'll put on the blog for everybody, but I love Crave, I love CeraVe, and you might wanna do something mild, like but still has a little bit of chemical exfoliation in it, like a little bit of salicylic acid to help prevent acne. You wanna be washing your skin really, really well at night before your night routine. And then in the morning, you can just rinse with water if that's what you prefer. Or if you want, you can wash your skin both night and morning. I do both night and morning. I find that I break out if I don't do that.
Okay.
But you can kind of experiment. But the key part is really washing your skin well, cleansing well at night, because you've got all that sunscreen and gunk.
Yes.
Right?
That's true.
So you got to get the sunscreen off, because that can really clog pores and then create more acne or whatever. So good cleanse, plus you want to get your actives, meaning your acids and your serums. You want those to be able to sink in at night while you're asleep and your skin's rejuvenating. So we'll go through a final time now. Like, first of all, you're a pretty organized person, so
Yes.
I know you want to keep your skincare routine simple, but
Yes.
honestly, I would recommend taking it up a notch from where you're at. And in the morning, do your niacinamide and or vitamin C. We'll write all this down for you.
Okay.
And then cover with your moisturizer or moisturizing sunscreen. Definitely an SPF 30 or above every morning. A few times a week, you're gonna wanna exfoliate chemically with a glycolic acid toner. Something like the Crave Beauty Glycolic Acid Toner is only 5%. It's a gentle one to start off with.
Okay.
So that's going to give you the exfoliation of your skin cells so they don't get clogged and you're not scrubbing them with that awful apricot anymore.
St. Ives is out.
Out. And then, up to you if long term you want to start slowly adding in a retin-A at night. And that is also going to improve cell turnover, reduce signs of aging, long-term reduce acneic skin issues, and really retin-A is something I recommend people start in their late 20s. You can start it earlier, but I recommend in your late 20s and then continue the rest of your life. But that's optional. The two key things though for you are going to be the niacinamide and the glycolic acid a couple times a week. And then for those of you also with acne issues and stuff like that, another great ingredient to explore and kind of try out is the azelaic acid. You can get that over the counter at 10%, but if you're someone who really struggles with acne, you can get that from your dermatologist at a higher percent that's even stronger. So those are kind of your key buckets there. But number one, no more apricot. Cleansing at night, SPF 30.
Yes, and niacinamide.
Yeah, and you were saying earlier, like, wrinkles aren't really a concern for you. You like wrinkles, right?
Yes. Not to worry about wrinkles too much for now, until I get older.
But you like a little bit for character. Like,
Yes, exactly.
I think it's, like, interesting. People have different, some people love little crow's feet because it's, like,
Yes.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, me, I want everything frozen like an alien. So I don't-
Smooth.
Yeah, I prefer to look like an alien my whole life, but I do think they're cute and look good on other people. Like,
Yes. I
or
feel like-
just yourself. It's
Yeah.
everybody has their own what they want.
Exactly. And preferences and what they think is beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Yes.
How do you define beauty?
Exactly.
No, I'm asking. How
Oh,
do you
how do
define
I
beauty?
define it?
Yes, yes.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. We all have
Yes.
different views of what beauty is.
Yeah, but what's yours?
But what's mine? I don't know. Just different. I don't know. Like wrinkles, I think, are beautiful to a certain degree.
Anything else you want to tell the Weird for Beauty fans?
Check the Weird for Beauty website, and I'm
Oh,
looking
wow.
forward to the regimen that is going to be recommended for me, and see if this helps improve my acne problem.
Yeah. Thank you for being a great housemate this week and and saying hi to our friends.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, you're dismissed. Let's get Carl in this.
Alrighty,
Go
next
get Carl.
person.
Welcome back. We're here with my good friend, Carl Onak.
Hello.
Yes,
Great to be
welcome,
here.
Welcome to the Weird for Beauty community. It's very exciting.
My first time.
Now, Carl is someone who I have tagged as having dumpling skin. It always looks moist and bouncy, and he barely does anything to it, so he's one of those genetically gifted people. But he did tell me he had a story to share about having acne as a kid, which I did
Yeah.
not know, and I
Well-
have not heard.
Well, when I was in middle school, 6th or 7th grade, I started getting really bad acne, especially on my forehead and kind of around my temples. And I remember there's a photo of me somewhere, I think in 7th grade. It was a photo taken of me at school for some reason. But I remember it's you see my left side and you see like huge pimples going like all the way down along my temple. And it really didn't bother me because I enjoyed like kind of the texture, you know, rubbing across my forehead. And then when they get really bad, I pop them, and that was a lot of fun.
No.
But it really bothered my dad, and so he made me see a dermatologist. And the dermatologist prescribed, of course, Retin-A.
Oh, as a kid.
Yeah, and I thought it was overkill, but then my forehead smoothed out, and
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, this is a lot
Maybe
better.
that's your secret, was like the Retin-A treatment as a kid has now
Could be,
created that.
could be, but anyway,
And you don't use any Retin-A now, right?
nope,
Nothing.
just some sunscreen most days. But I remember when I got the Retin-A, it came with a little, tissue thin piece of paper that had
Yeah.
all the drug facts, and it had the chemical structure on it, and then it had the name of the chemical, and it's very systematically named. And I really enjoyed figuring out how all the pieces of the name corresponded to the pieces in the structure. And that was what got me interested in organic chemistry. And
Wow.
I did a PhD in chemistry. But
Wow, so skincare, who knew?
There you go.
Skincare is Carl's catalyst to his career
there you go.
in
Yeah.
chemistry. It really is a lot of chemistry involved in skincare, and
Mhm.
everybody on YouTube now thinks that they're a chemist, and brands like The Ordinary kind of overhype the way they talk about their skincare in a very faux chemistry
Mhm.
way. But everyone loves to kind of talk about combining ingredients and this and that and being their at-home chemist. So it's difficult sometimes,
Mhm.
to decipher what's real, what's not, and then sometimes people are doing a little too much mixing and playing chemist at home and not listening to the actual experts.
Sure.
Or talking to their dermatologists, but
Yeah, and you can't always guess. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
totally counterintuitive. You've got to, you've got to be very empirical.
Yes, pardon the background noise. We've got a house full of characters here
Yes.
in
I
Palm
was
Springs.
wondering what word you were going for there.
I don't know. All right, so you did the acne thing. The Retin-A helped. Did you go on any antibiotics during that time?
I don't think so. I do remember that before we finally went to the dermatologist, I was using some kind of medicated soap. It was this orange bar, and I used it every morning and night, and I really didn't like it, and it wasn't very effective anyway. But the Retin-A, yeah, that was what really cleared me up quite
The
effectively.
orange bar was probably the Neutrogena. That's a classic.
Yes, it was Neutrogena.
I love
remember it,
that
yes.
one. I actually have a
had-
soft spot for that still.
I remember now. I had the Neutrogena bar, and at various points, I also tried the Neutrogena face wash,
Yeah,
liquid.
the acne,
Yeah,
acne-free or whatever
I
it's
think I
called,
might have-
oil-free, but yeah.
I think I might have had an astringent in there
Yeah.
somewhere at one point. Yeah.
And the astringents are definitely out of fad now. The witch hazel and stuff can be pretty irritating
Uh-huh.
to the skin and long term cause damage to your
Yeah.
skin barrier and stuff. So careful with the astringent out there, folks.
Yeah.
But definitely a toner that's exfoliating or an exfoliator is fine, a chemical exfoliation. So tell us about your current skincare routine or lack thereof.
Right. It's pretty much just sun protection, and for many years, like it was only fairly recently that I started doing this. I got the most basic Target brand Up and Up SPF 15 daily facial moisturizer.
He puts that on, his face doesn't even cause any acne.
But then Mark turned me on to the Korean Purito brand, which is SPF 50 and much stronger, lasts longer. So
Feels better too, right?
Yes, it feels
Yeah.
a lot better. It's so silky and smooth. I love it.
Great. So in the morning you put that on. At night, what do you do?
Nothing at night, just a shower, and I wash my face in the shower.
With just water or
Dove soap.
Dove
Dove
soap?
bar soap. 25% moisturizer.
Does your
Great
skin
stuff.
ever feel dehydrated or dry?
No, except for just a very few specific spots where I have psoriasis.
Fascinating.
And
There are those people that are just like, yeah, I just wash my face with water and don't do any moisturizer, and my skin never feels dry. It feels fine, looks fine.
no, the only thing that ever
And he
bothers
has like
me.
no wrinkles.
Yeah, I get psoriasis. Like now, I have it on both of my heels, but sometimes it's on my kneecaps, sometimes it's on my elbows. It kind of comes and goes over the years. I've also had periods when the bottom of my feet would get dried and cracked, but then if I just use Gold Bond on them for 2 weeks straight, then I'm good for it.
Do you find anything triggers psoriasis, like diet or anything like that, or it just you don't know what's gonna happen?
No, and in fact, the two little spots I have now have been stable for years. Another chemistry-related story. When I started working on my graduate program at Berkeley, I came in the summer and started working in a lab, and maybe a few weeks in, I started getting really bad rashes on my arms, and it was also particularly bad on my hands, the backs of my hands, and also on the back of my neck, and even my earlobes. Like I would get pus coming out of my earlobes because they were so red and inflamed, and I talked to my lab mates, and we just had no idea what was going on. I went down to the healthcare center on campus. I think they did give me a kind of weak steroid, which helped, but they said really what you've got to do is figure out what's triggering this. And it was like an epiphany in the movie. I was walking back kind of demoralized because they couldn't really fix the problem, and then I thought, wait a minute, my arms, backs of my hands, my neck, my earlobes, those are all the points where the lab coat I've been wearing has been touching my skin. So I went to one of my coworkers, lab mates, and the lab coat I had been wearing was the former lab coat of a student who had just graduated and was no longer there. And I said to my lab mate, Emily, I have kind of a delicate question. Did Aaron, that was the guy whose lab coat I had, did Aaron ever wear any kind of cologne or something? Because I think something in his lab coat is irritating my skin. and she had known about this problem, and her jaw literally dropped, and she said, "He did wear cologne." And I said, "I think that's it." I said, "Okay, so maybe we should get this lab coat washed." And she said, "Maybe you should just throw it out and we'll find you a brand new one." So that cleared up. But ever since then,
Great.
I can't use scented
Fragrance
shower wash.
free. Good.
Yeah, I can't. I every now and then I
See?
try.
All this talk of fragrance on all those YouTube channels, and there's a big debate online about if we're cool with fragrance in skincare, if we're not cool. I tend to land on the not cool, like just keep the fragrance out, we don't need it. But some people love the sensorial kind of experience and the spa-like
I do
feeling.
love the
and-
smell, but it's
Yeah,
just
but-
not worth it because it
Yeah,
gives me a rash now.
Right, and some people use fragrance every day, and then develop the contact dermatitis
Yeah.
later in life and then can't handle it. So
Yeah.
you're one of those people who can say, like, yes, fragrance free for you, it
Yeah.
actually does irritate.
Yeah, it flared up a few more times during graduate school. I went back maybe in my 3rd or 4th year, and I remember the nurse practitioner at the healthcare center gave me like 60 grams of Lidex, this really powerful, top-notch prescription grade steroid cream. And she said, "I don't want you to use gobs of it," but I did use gobs of it.
So any kind of future skincare with you has got to be gentle and fragrance free. And Carl is very minimalist with his skincare and everything else in life, his apartment. So if we're gonna add anything for Carl, I think the only thing I would recommend is a face wash that's not the Dove bar soap.
Okay.
If he wants to add it. I mean, Carl has no sebaceous filaments, blackheads, wrinkles, whatever, but like these things can develop in the long run, or wrinkles will eventually you're gonna have lines or dry skin. But you know, because when you just wash your face with water, let's say, water evaporates, right? And that causes what they call transepidermal water loss. So somewhere along the line, and you're sweating when you're running, like you are losing moisture from your skin.
So you transpire like a plant.
Yeah, I mean, you're losing moisture from your skin somehow, but at the same time, your skin doesn't seem to be super dehydrated. But, you know, so my recommendation is if you want to, is to use a good facial cleanser that's actually going to get that sunscreen off at the end of the day, and that way it's not gunking up or sitting on your skin. So like a very gentle, fragrance-free face wash from something like CeraVe, very mild, much like Dove's mild. And then, although Dove does have a little fragrance, doesn't it, or no? I don't know.
There is, I can't
Sure,
remember.
yeah.
If it is, it's very light. And there's also, but the one I use, I'm always nervous about using hotel soaps, and because I stick to the brands that I know will be okay for me.
Yeah. So
Dove soap, Gold Bond.
Yeah.
That's it.
So the other recommendation I have for Carl, since he likes to keep it really simple and he's already using a great sunscreen that has it's moisturizing in the morning, is I would add a very, very mild, basic moisturizer at night. And of course, you guys all know I love the natural moisturizing factors from The Ordinary, which is about $7 for a big one.
Okay.
I know he doesn't want to add any products into his life or bathroom, so
Well,
we
I
want to
will-
keep it very simple.
If they're gonna make me keep looking good at 95.
Yes. That
My
moisturizer
grandmother
will
is
help.
93 now. I want to look as good as her.
Good. Great. And how do you define beauty for yourself or others or others?
Oh, well, I just like things to be clean and orderly. So beauty to me just means taking care of yourself, putting some effort into grooming yourself, keeping your breath fresh, I use a water pick to blast out all of the stuff between my teeth. It's great. It gives me a great feeling. So beauty to me means knowing that you're maintaining yourself well.
All right. Well, thank you, Carl.
Thank you.
Great interview.
Free consultation.
Thanks, Word for Beauty. Like, subscribe, share. Bye.
Bye.